now, Budgie Planet, the world's largest supplier of parakeets and other small, colorful domestic birds, proudly presents tonight's installment of Rickshaw, Big City Cabby, the heartwarming story of a taxi driver serving the pedestrians of this large urban city with clear-eyed skill and a trunk load of compassion. And now, Rickshaw, Big City Cabby.
Cabby. All right, hop in. Hey, where you headed, pal?
To the Regency Viceroy Hotel, please.
The Regency Viceroy Hotel? Hey, pretty ritzy, my friend, pretty ritzy. You must have some money to be staying at a place like that.
No, actually, I'm a reporter for the Daily Evening Journal. The governor just arrived in town, and I'm going to interview him.
The governor? Well, what do you know? Hey, what's the matter? Is this mansion not big enough for him?
What?
That's a joke, pal. I was just making a joke, that's all.
Oh.
But I'll tell you something that ain't no joke. I just read an article that talked about what they call career politicians. That's what they call these guys to make a whole career out of just being elected all the time.
Yes, that's what...
Well, that got me to thinking, hey, I can do that.
You?
Well, sure. All you gotta do is print up some posters with your picture on it, with a caption on it saying something like, vote for me. And then just go around shaking people's hands and making speeches. Things like that.
Well, there's actually more to it.
Of course, I'll have to get a new suit. The one I got is pretty worn out. I wonder where those guys get their suits from.
I'm sure I don't know.
Now, that's the hard part, Not the suit, but getting more people to vote for you than vote for the other guy. But hey, once you get elected, the rest is a piece of cake. You just sit around all day, arguing about things, voting on something or other.
Well, that's if you're elected to Congress, and that's where they vote on legislation.
Legislation? And those are those things they vote on? That's probably important to know. Let me write that down.
Hey, could you keep your eyes on the road, please?
Oh, and get this. That article I read explained that sometimes, before they actually vote, someone will add things to someone else's, legislation.
Oh, you mean amendments?
Amendments? Is that what they call them? Oh, this is great. Let me write this down.
I feel a lot better if you kept your hands on the wheel, please.
Yeah, I could really see myself as one of those guys who sits around in that big building with the round top.
The Capitol building?
Is that what they call that place? Say, where is that? In New York or somewhere?
It's in Washington, D.C.
Way out west like that, huh?
No, you're thinking of the state of Washington. Washington, D.C. is in the east.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure someone will give me directions once I get elected.
Well, there's quite a bit people will want to know about you if you run. For instance, which party's nomination will you go for?
Oh, see, I got that whole thing covered. I would run for both parties. That way I'll double my chances right out of the gate. I ain't the kind of guy who puts all his eggs in one basket,
Oh, stop. Here's the hotel.
Oh, yeah. Say, look at that fancy limousine.
Well, that's the governor's limousine.
Well, what do you know about that? Riding around in something like that would take some getting used to. I can tell you that right now. But I guess that's all part of the job.
Yeah, thanks. Well, here's for the fare, and keep the change.
Hey, thanks, pal. And you have yourself a great interview. And hey, if you think of it, could you ask the governor where he gets his suits made?
We hope you've enjoyed tonight's adventure, and be sure to join us next time as Budgie Planet, the world's largest supplier of parakeets and other small, colorful domestic birds, proudly presents Rickshaw, Big City Cabby.